Hello and welcome to ID Redacted. Today we're going to have a look at an interrogation of. Sorry, can't get the words out. So we'll get straight into it and see how we go. Yes, Sabrina Limon.
What other stuff you guys talk about?
Life and just, well, if we're going back to him, there was, and it was actually other was friends of friends of friends. Okay, so our friends were having a party, and they were fire department people.
Oh.
And so that's what started it. I mean, that's how I gave him my phone number, and I said, oh, do you know this couple? And he said, oh yeah, I think so. Like, are you going to that party kind of thing? And then he's like, well, maybe I'll see you there. Like, what's your number? And I had never given out my number to like a stranger before, and I did. I instantly like felt it was like, oh my gosh. And I had got prior to that.
She's into partner swapping, so I'm sure she let out her phone number a couple of times. But anyway.
That I had mentioned Robert, and I always do. That's like my protection, especially with other, men. Like I always brought up Robert right away. So I'd never done that before, and I felt bad. And but then he called and messaged me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I got myself into, so I didn't answer it or respond. And he apologized. He was like, are you married? I'm so sorry. And then I put, yeah, I got that you knew that. It's no problem. It's okay. And that's how that started.
So you gave me a phone number. And you guys never talked about you being married? Because you guys talk about life. But do you think...
Well, this was in the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. And then that's when we started, talking about life and more, like a friendship,
Did you feel guilty about that?
The funny thing, after I told him I was married, he was sincerely, like, sorry. And I felt bad too. I was just like, oh yeah, no worries, it's okay, it's all good. I didn't feel that bad. Because I socially, I talked to a lot of people, and Rob and I were open. Like Rob he was pretty casual with me in my relationship with others.
So, he was pretty secure. And he wasn't an insecure type. And how often did you come into the hospital?
In quite a bit.
In Victorville? I probably like as in once a week, twice a week.
Twice, 3 times a week.
I go to Costco once in a month, and I'm like, So, okay. He was there obviously to see you. He wanted to talk to you. So after you gave him the phone number for the first time, and he knew that you were married, how much did you guys talk after that? How frequently?
It wasn't a lot in the beginning, and then we just started talking a lot more.
Okay. Alright. Now,
we formed a relationship.
Okay. From talking in person and on the phone and stuff like that. How about any meetings after work? Did you meet them after work?
I would see him, yeah. But just for short, just. So a lot of times he'd come in later and then end up like walking out with me, kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
Now, so he would come visit you, get to talk there, and then he'd walk you out the car or whatever. So, at what point did it become a sexual relationship?
A year later, so we talked for
2014? So this year?
before that.
You met him in 2013?
Probably, let's say, talked for like, I am honestly super bad with time and dates. Let's just round about 8 months maybe. Or 6 months or something like that. Like it wasn't, It wasn't right away, anything like that, you know. So,
She's here real quick, we'll do this real quick and we'll finish.
okay.
I wrote it down so I remember where we were at.
Okay.
So you said it was about 8 months to a year, and then,
6 months.
I'm sorry?
Maybe 6 months.
Maybe 6 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Is that when it starts to become sexual?
The cop already knows that she's lying. Her and Jonathan, the killer, had been seeing each other for quite a while, and she's still seeing him after the murder. Shocking.
A relationship? Did you guys have a relationship at your house, or was it at Costco, or was it at a motel?
It was at our house and sometimes, you know, wherever.
Okay. And how often did you guys meet up?
A couple times a week.
Okay. And so this was 6 months after, I'm sorry?
Sometimes, not, sometimes like once a week or.
Just know what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was 6 months after you met, or? Okay. So if you met in maybe early 2013, I'm sorry, 2014 this year, right?
No, it's been over a year. So probably like a year and a half time.
Because at the end of 2012 is right because you met him early 2013. Okay. So mid of 2013. Now, basic friendship relationship, sexual relationship, maybe once or twice a week. And then, so, I mean, and obviously this relationship goes on and on. You guys talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Tell me about, did Rob ever suspect anything?
No, Robert had found my phone.
Tell me about that.
And he wasn't, you know, he's like, who's this dude? And he'd seen him out once before. He'd only met him once. So he was just like, you know, what's up? How did this go down? And I just kind of told him like, I don't know. It just happened. And Jonathan apologized to Robert. Talked to him. He apologized to him. And we felt bad, you know. And felt bad. And Rob and I just kind of kept going, you know. And Jonathan and I stopped talking. And I saw him in Costco, probably, let's say, 3 months later. Something like that. And honestly, detective, like, I'm so bad with time, it could have been give or take, or, you know, but it was a little while. I hadn't seen him.
When did Rob find out, and do you remember when it was, what month it was? Or about what time? This is going to be in 2013, you found out, right?
June?
June of 2013? And what happened that day? When you found out about it? What was going on?
He was going to have the next day off. We had been out the night before, and I kind of had too much to drink.
Oh.
And I wasn't paying attention to my phone. So we'd been out the night before, and he'd already taken my next day off, and he was kind of, like, we had, I hate talking about this is why I know. Like, Rob and I just had sex. Like, he kind of like forgave me. It was kind of like okay. And he'd ask me questions, you know, and I just kind of would answer them as he asked, but and we didn't talk about it. He didn't like problems, you know.
Yeah. When he asked you these questions, did you tell the truth, or did you just tell him a little bit of information?
A little bit, not in like detail, but I would answer his questions, you know. And I seriously, I was just like, I don't know how it happened, you know. Like I did tell you, you were distracted with so many things, friends and partying, and we have had open relationships. You know, I threw that at him, you know. So this was prior, and parties and just kind of like that kind of a lifestyle, more like. Now the kids weren't exposed to that, firsthand, they were they were exposed to me drinking, like too much. Mom's sleeping. Okay.
Right.
So,
And we talked about your open relationship before. You told me you didn't have one.
I was great, and I didn't want any of this to come out,
Did you think this would ever come out?
I was, I've been driven, it's been, it's shameful, it's terrible, and I'm feeling it.
I understand. Did you guys have open relationships as you would meet other people at parties and stuff and have sexual encounters? Or was it okay, what? Okay.
And that was just kind of like a Rob and I thing we had years ago. It was this couple, and that's what started me. We've never done anything like that.
Right.
We were new to Silver Lakes. Robbie was in kindergarten. And yeah, we met this kooky couple. I mean, the chick for sure, the woman, Anna. But I am a people person, so is Robert. And that was just a crazy experience with her and her husband.
What are the names?
Nicole and Dill. Did you hear about that? Have you heard about that?
No.
Well, they lived out there, so Robbie was in kindergarten. He's 11 now, so.
Oh.
But that's where the door opened, and Robert was, I hate to talk about him, Ellie, because I don't want to dishonor him. I feel like this is such a dishonor to him. But
He was a man.
yeah, so he was all about it, to the end of it, like whatever we had to do. And this went on, and oh my gosh, I never had such troubles, And I told Robert, like, you should not get in too deep with these two, Well, they're divorced now.
So I need to get some clarification with a few things. Back before Rob got murdered, okay? But before we talk, I want to let you know that you have to be totally honest with me.
Okay.
This is so freaking serious. I can't tell you how serious this is.
Okay. I gotcha.
And if you're lying to me, it's going to be very difficult for you.
Okay.
Okay. Before the marriage, or before the death of Robert, you guys have had conversations, multiple, 7,333 conversations. April 15th when you got the burner phone. Got the burner phone on April 15th. From April 15th to April 1st, there were 7,333 phone calls, text messages. I've done my homework. Okay. You guys have had to have some sort of conversation discussing your unhappiness in your marriage and your divorce or possible divorce, and then at what point did Jonathan say that he could probably take care of it for you?
He never said he could take care of it.
No.
It was like, no, like we could be together,
Oh,
and live for God.
So he said we could be together and live for God. What did you think about that?
Just kind of lived, I thought, I would think about it. But it was like I was living like two lives, So,
So a life with Robert and then a life with Jonathan.
in a way,
And whenever he would talk to you,
I would go along,
I'm sorry, what?
we talk about things,
Yeah, it's a whole lot of text messages and phone calls, but she's still trying to get her weasel her way out of it. Oh my God.
being together, the kids, talk about the kids, raising kids, we talked about that a lot. How badly things were being done,
So he's saying you were a bad parent and Rob was a bad parent? Because he obviously knows he's 26 years old and you know what I mean?
He never, I felt foolish. He would never say, you're a bad parent. Rob's a bad parent. I don't think he would ever say that, but there's a lot of, need for God.
And that was his way in. He started to make you feel guilty about the life you were living, about not living for God. He gets his way into your mind and your heart. And then he makes you start believing this stuff about you, which probably wasn't true. Do you remember a specific date before Bob was murdered that he told you that Jonathan said we can be together and live for God?
Do I remember a date?
Yeah, like maybe how, like, a week before, in a month before, all the time?
More than we talked about, living for God.
Mm-hmm.
More. I'll say maybe a month or two, maybe 3.
Did you know that he had planned to murder your husband?
No.
You didn't know that?
No, did not know that he planned on murdering Robert.
Because he did.
I can't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I didn't want it to just be a lie. Now that there's no lie.
Yes, you did.
I can't.
Oh,
After the murder, has he talked to you about it and told you that he did it?
No, he never said.
Never ever?
He never said I killed Robert.
Do you know that he has 2 firearms that are the same caliber as the one that killed Robert?
Same caliber. Mm-hmm. That.
It's the same size bullet, same exact bullet.
What kind of gun?
Semi-automatic handgun.
no tissues.
Is this rich or anything? No. Good? Whatever, real quick.
Busted, lady,
What
busted.
about that?
Just knew that he carried him was an investigator for the fire service.
And what kind of investigations did you do?
Fire investigations, that he could carry a gun.
Arson stuff? How long have you been doing that?
Not that long. He's new to the course,
He's done a lot of
I
research.
mean, now that he has.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been telling you all about my investigation, about how my investigation goes, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Totally feeding you a line of bullshit. About the way things go.
And for some reason, it made me feel better. Like, I don't know why he made me feel better. He made me feel better just talking with him and just like, I felt like the whole affair thing was just gonna put our family in me. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like the whole thing was affair in my head. Affair. And you go like that. I just thought, how horrible would that be?
Unfair?
Unfair, yeah.
You ever know anybody who's had an affair in their marriage?
Yeah, but I feel like it felt so bad right now but their spouse wasn't murdered, So
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is like such horrible timing. This is horrible timing. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why the timing is like this, And then when you start feeling, some, questioning and it's like, oh,
I can tell you that.
So, and we have discussed it a lot, kind of like what to, go over and say
Why would you discuss that?
about the
About what to go over, what to say to me. Why would you guys have to discuss that? It's just an affair.
to take off, not to, not for the affair to be about that. That's just kind of like, we never had an affair. Nope. We have a great marriage, perfect, everything's perfect. And then, we have talked about, just the lifestyle that I led, but so anything about it, I don't know.
I can tell you that this wasn't about the affair. All these conversations Jonathan's had with you about not talking to me and not telling me the truth, that was to conceal him committing the murder. That's all it was. It wasn't about the affair. It was about him.
I felt like it was about the affair. Like, I felt like it's so amplified because Rob was murdered and
But I mean, it wasn't about the affair. He's trying to tell you all this information and feed you all this bullshit because he didn't want it to be revealed that he was having an affair with you. Because he knows that you're going to come look for him and talk to him. You know what I mean? That's what this all is about. All these conversations, this 100 conversations you guys have had, you know,
I'm afraid that our affair wouldn't be discovered. And to forgive us for our, before our wrongful, sinful adultery and
murder.
never did he, in fact, he prayed, I'm not a murderer of God.
Okay, how about Psalms 51? He told you about it, right? When he prayed for forgiveness for his bloodshed. Remember that? You talked about that?
For his bloodshed?
I think you were actually talking over him when he was talking about that. Because you guys do that a lot. You'll be talking and he talks and you guys talk over each other. And then he prayed that God would forgive him for his bloodshed. I don't think you would. You don't remember hearing that?
No.
He was relating to murder, not an affair. You know what I mean? Let's talk about last week when we met. You leave here. You talked to him on the phone. Your sister in the car. Still a little bit. You're not letting your sister know a whole lot. I understand. And then there was another conversation you had with him after you and I spoke. And you called him and said, "Hey, we're good. I'll call you in a little bit." Remember that?
I mean, I don't know about the calling a little bit, what that part was about, but I just felt like I was just worried about phone records. I thought if you were gonna, I seriously thought we were getting arrested for an affair, and I know that sounds retarded, but it's like, well, what do they have really besides phone records? Okay, well, I'd go back and forth, but then I just I felt guilty, for
Of course you're guilty.
for the
God.
affair and Rob being gone, but then hearing it out loud, that's even,
I'm sorry?
hearing it out loud, it was even,
Sounds retarded, right?
because of my sense that,
Also, you guys had a conversation about me too. Remember the conversation? Well, lots of them. I mean, lots of them have been almost every conversation you guys have. Right?
I didn't realize that he, I never had said your first name, or I don't believe, and he looked in, kind of just checking you out, and,
How did you do that?
I guess the computer, I don't know.
Facebook?
I'm not good on any, I don't do any of that stuff a whole lot. But, so, so I just kind of felt like he was doing homework for us, for the affair, so Detective Meyer wasn't going to,
By the book. Very precise.
cookie cutter, or something, I don't know, black and white.
So you got that from where?
I guess from the internet. I mean, he didn't tell me where he got it from. He just said he researched. Another thing too, he mentioned is an attorney. That's why he said it. You feel uncomfortable or just ask for an attorney, you know. And so, I've never done this before.
And you,
So, overwhelmed and just think like, well, maybe I should, just so I don't say something wrong, because, I mean, I'm
where are you guilty of?
not an affair, having an affair.
So why would you be afraid of saying something wrong? If you know that you can't be arrested for an affair, then what would make you think that you're going to get in trouble?
I didn't want to put out there. I thought that in my head, that's what I was running from. I don't want you to find out that there's been an affair in prior, you know,
I mean,
lifestyle.
my husband is killed, and I'm worried about covering up an affair. There's bigger things than having an affair. That's murder, right? I mean, at that point in time, I'd be like, here's all my cards. I'm not doing anything wrong, except for having an affair. You should look at that motherfucker. That's what I would have said.
My mind has not thought that big like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It hasn't. It honestly hasn't. It's like,
I think all bets are off. Once somebody gets killed, murdered, shot, no, we're not coming back. Kids with their father. Fuck the affair. Who cares?
no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have been like, let me talk to you. I gotta tell you about this affair. I didn't do anything wrong, except having an affair.
There were a
But you
couple of
didn't
days
talk.
where I had it so heavy on my heart. Just,
But you never said anything. I asked you dozens of times, do you have any information for me? Do you have anything else you'd like to tell me?
I know I'm thinking outside of my affair. And,
Oh no, I'm thinking about, tell me anything. You know?
well, it was weighing heavy on me a couple times. And, I did want to talk to you.
She thinks he's so much smarter than the detective. We'll see how it works out for her.
Maybe you did, but how do you expect somebody to diligently be working to solve the murder of your husband?
Because I didn't suspect Jonathan.
But you told me earlier that you did at some point.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, in the beginning, this is coming down to these photos and some of the things that have been said recently.
What was that recently?
Just, you know, it could be me on the video, it could, just discussion like that in the past probably month, maybe 2 weeks.
How about when I talked to you, I can check and see if it was a text or a phone call. As soon as we got off the phone, you pick up your burner phone, you immediately call Jonathan, call me from the station, and you hang up.
This was just yesterday.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Tell me about that. Why would you do that?
Because of the John, I was like, who would somebody, do you know somebody that would? There was a tip line, you know, and then I'm just like, or maybe, is it a John? You know, like a random, is it John or is it John? Yeah, you.
So why did you have him call you from the station phone?
Because I was worried, like thinking, I don't know, you guys were.
Taking the phone half?
I was thinking maybe someone's listening, I don't know, just I felt freaked out, like, I did.
How did
I
you
kind of
think
was, like, but
you kind of
it
were
wasn't you, right, you know? And these, I mean, I let him know that what I saw, and I let him know, when we had conversations, and that he might call me back, and he said, just to not, let you guys keep poking at me for,
So, that to me is very suspicious. For you to quickly call him on your burner phone after we got off the phone, like seconds after we got off the phone. Call me on the station phone. And then, you heard a clicking noise. thinking I was listening to their call. It turned out it's from the station. Apparently they make cooking and they talk on the phone. That's very suspicious. Like, more than just trying to conceal an affair. That's it. To me, that's suspicious until, I mean, every detective around.
Yeah, well, I could see where that would be suspicious.
I mean, just,
That's how I felt. I seriously felt like, yeah, I felt like this is a very waste, but yet I continued. There's really no explanation for my behavior as far as that goes. Like, now that I see it like this, it's almost like talking and kind of continuing. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen after, I didn't know what was going to happen.
what do you think Jonathan's going to tell me?
I have no idea what he's going to tell me.
He's on his way here right now. What do you think he's going to say? Apparently he told one of the other detectives that he wanted to talk to me. What's he going to tell me about you?
Me? I have no idea what he's going to tell me about me.
You want me to give you an idea of probably what he's going to tell me?
What?
That you set this up and planned this? That's probably what he's going to tell me.
I can't imagine that. I can't
No?
imagine him saying that. No.
Why not? Because he loves you? Because he's a man of God? He's having an affair with a married woman?
No, not because of those things, because I didn't set it up, and because I can't imagine him saying that.
So I'm kind of curious what he's going to tell me too. If he's going to tell me that you planned this whole thing because you know that your husband's working for the railroad at the time, and the railroad is on duty, and he gets killed on duty, that there's a lot of motivator there for money. $300,000 life insurance plus another $50,000. Plus the possibility of the railroad coming in and going, hey,
No,
we'll pay you off.
Detective Randall Roberts, I don't care about money. Money. I can't even tell you how I don't care about money.
If I was in your shoes right now, I would care about money either. I would care about my survival. Not going to prison for the rest of my life. That's what I would care about.
Yeah, of course.
I don't give a shit about money. That's why I work. I'm a cop. I don't care about money. It's money. It does make the world go around. It's not everything. So,
We had talked about, just Robert being murdered, like how, why would that happen?
and you can see the way this looks really bad because you have an affair.
Yeah.
You have a motivator for money. Right? This looks terrible. There's a murder, continuing affair, and people lying to conceal the affair and to conceal the murder.
I can see how that looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm. So what's Jonathan going to tell me?
I have no idea what he's going to tell me.
Because apparently he hasn't asked for a lawyer. He wants to talk to me. You know, usually happens in these cases. One person tells me, in this case, Jonathan's going to tell me that you started a whole list and talk him into it. You know what I mean? That's what he's probably not. That's probably what he's saying. He's probably telling me that.
I can't, that wouldn't be true.
He's lied before.
I can't imagine.
He's lied about
I can't imagine him saying.
the motorcycle. He's lied about talking to Robert 3 other times before the murder. He lied about murdering Robert, driving over there to Tashkent, committing a murder.
He talked to Robert 3 others.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's a liar. But he thinks it's okay to lie because he's forgiven for his sins. He'll repent for the sins he's committed. He thinks it's going to be okay. No. It's not okay. You can't just go out and commit murder and just think that you're doing God's work. You know, think that I'm doing the work of God because He wants me to save her from her sins. And then think it's okay.
Oh, don't pretend.
That's what he thinks. And I'm wondering what he's gonna tell me.
I can't believe
You need to tell me.
you're giving me the hard information.
I'm giving you a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have books and books and books and books of evidence. On this whole thing. I mean, I can stack the books up and David Sanders told you on all the evidence I've collected during the last 3 months in one day. Tons of it. You need to be honest with me. Because he's going to tell me. He's going to tell me exactly what happened.
Well, good.
Because you know why? Because he has to. He has to tell somebody this. He's going to have to tell me what happened. First punches, he's curious, right? Even minds are curious. They want to know what evidence do you have to show that I did this. All of our minds are curious. He is going to ask, he's going to want to know what do you have. And he's going to want me to tell him. But what I'm wondering is what he's going to tell me about you.
I know.
Okay. Why would you tell him where Robert worked at?
That was a long time ago.
Like how long?
Like probably a long time ago. Half a year ago or so.
Why specifically would you tell him that there's a building in Tehachapi?
We talked about Tehachapi and
It's right up the freeway.
he's asked me.
He's actually, what do you think he asked you?
I don't know, like it was in conversation, like literally. In conversation
Okay.
of where Robert works and just kind of like,
You know why he was doing that? Because he was planning and preparing. So he could be with you forever. He's planning this out. He was making this plan up in his head. He had a lot of pre-planning to like driving up there and checking it out. Put it there on the motorcycle, checks it out, finds out how much fuel he needs to make it there and back. Works points out where he's going to stop at. This is the plan. He had a master plan. So that's why he talked about it. And that's why he had questions for you. Where's this place at? But I'm wondering why would you even tell him? It's your husband's place of business. Why would you specifically tell him that it's a business right on Freeman Cash Street? That's where he works at.
I don't know why
It's
I
crazy.
told him that. It was in conversation. I don't know.
You know what? I think if you would have never told him that, he would have never been able to find it. Because it's not on the map. You can't Google it and find it. I tried. He would have never ever known where that BNSF shop was at if you would have told him. He would have not known where to go. You know what I mean?
Dun dun.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, don't.
I need more information from you. And you need to tell me, why did you get that information from him?
Trying to a conversation.
Did you guys have any specific conversations before the murder, before the day of the murder? A couple of days before about him maybe going on a ride on a motorcycle?
I want to say no.
No? You want to say no?
No.
Okay. But he did mention that he could be with you, you guys could be together and live in the park. That was it. He did mention to you that you guys could be together and live for God, right? Remember talking about that a bazillion times? So you didn't think by him saying that maybe that he had intentions on maybe removing Rob from the picture? Why did you not think that?
Because we'd spoken of divorce. You know, like that was kind of, and we were just like living, you know, just living in our, I was just living a double life, you know. And
He knows
You
she's
know, you
lying.
have hostage versus conversations you guys have had in your house too, right?
yeah.
That's Jonathan driving away from the scene. From the place on Good Bay, where the shop's at.
That's good. Okay.
It's an hour to get to the pilot. And this is 1 hour later. On August, I think it was the 8th, Jonathan, he bought his clothes he was wearing. Got a good one in San Bernardino. Shoes, pants, jacket, shirt.
More evidence.
Got him received.
She knows full well.
My partner talking to Jonathan right now. I don't know what he's telling him. So I told my partner that once he gets done talking to her, like, before we take a break to come in, and we get some information, we can figure out what he's saying. I don't know what he's telling. He told me he had a bunch of stuff to talk about, so I can't imagine what he told me.
No idea. What he's telling him? This?
Huh?
Is he telling him?
I don't know, he's just going to talk to me. He'll come in and talk to us real quick. We'll understand exactly what's going on. I mean, I can't imagine that, it's hard for me to imagine that, honestly, that you didn't know this was going on. You know what I mean? With all this talk on the phones, in your guys' house, getting a burner phone, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't have knowledge of it, that you really didn't talk about it. I mean, it's yeah. I know you're saying that you don't know. You understand it's very hard to believe. You know.
I understand that it would be, well, now that I'm looking at it outside of,
What I'm looking at.
Yeah. Talking to Patrick, like, I saw it, like, oh gosh, yeah,
What do you think's going to happen to you right now?
what do you do?
I mean, with all this, everything, I mean, you think you're going to be able to see your kids again?
I hope so. Yeah, this is detective. It's a nightmare.
I think Robert felt his mom rushing at somebody, and this guy's got a gun in his hand. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I thought about it a lot. Like what was going through his mind, how was heart racing. He's scared. He's thinking about his kids, his wife. This guy's trying to murder him. For what? So he had his life. This guy wanted Robert's life. This guy murders him in cold blood. Probably. I think Robert felt like he got fucking scared. You know what I mean?
Cold-hearted.
I just wanted to know if he suffered. He said he didn't suffer. I didn't know details of.
No, I really don't know. I know that when you're a child, it was horrible. But you don't know what he's going through. 1 second, everything is cool. You're bending down, getting a finger in the water. Next second, you're fighting for your life. Fighting for your life. This guy's gonna fucking kill you.
He was struggling.
Yeah, they're fighting over the gun. And then pow, the gun goes off. And then what are you thinking? You start thinking about your life. You know? Your kids and all that shit. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what Rob was thinking, but he speculated, you know? He's thinking, oh, I gotta get this gun from this guy. You know what I mean? He paid cash for the stuff he bought because he knew. That's
I think this is
How you doing? Jimmy Luke. He was talking with
bad cop.
So he is he's made this plan. So you think that, I mean, you tell him that, hey, Clark's gonna be gone, they work, we 12-hour shift, maybe we can come over, we can hang out, and he's thinking, today's the day. I'm gonna take that drive. I'm gonna go take care of business so I can be with her. I can have her and her family. Her kids. The sad thing for the kids. Horrible. Because they lost their dad. And he was a good dad. Terrible.
Nice. Terrible. Terrible. It's my fault.
Sabrina, after talking to Jonathan and looking at this, I mean, I don't know this case for a long time. It looks like it's too before the fall. Shoot. I don't think you pulled the trigger, did you?
No.
Jonathan did. What did he tell you that was in that video?
Yesterday.
When?
Yesterday?
He didn't tell you before that?
No.
What did you think? He told you that in the video.
Well, he hadn't seen the video, but he said it could be me. He said
What? How could that be? I'm confused here.
we just talked a bunch about, he's just said that, detectives can say and do anything that they want.
Did you ask him how that could be him in that video?
I did.
What did he say?
He said that it could be a picture of him at another gas station.
You asked him what he was doing in that gas station? Halfway to where your husband was murdered?
From what how I took it was like another gas station, another place. And I said, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to put?
Did you see the picture of Jonathan on the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have any trouble figuring out that Jonathan? Just frankly, everybody else that knows him and seen it, I mean, you have to know who floated that to them. They've all had no problem with it. And I think you would know more than any of them, really.
Yeah.
Do you have any problem with that, picking that out of Jonathan?
No.
Do you know anybody else that looks like that has a motorcycle like that would have a reason to kill your husband?
No.
Who else could it be?
No, that's okay. Maybe something else.
Hey, frankly, Sabrina, I've seen on a lot of wiretaps, and I know you've been listening to for a while.
Yeah.
I've seen on a lot of questions, 32 years in New England. And I can tell you the conversation between you two is not covered up there.
Well, that's what I've,
You've already told people that's your affair long before there's no reason to keep this a secret. Keep it from who?
I haven't told anybody.
Yes, you have.
Who did I tell?
You told people so is Jonathan. What? At what
Said
point,
no,
at
no,
what
but
point
not.
did you think we knew about Jonathan? How do you think we found out about Jonathan?
Phone records.
From what?
From phone
You
records.
know, we have to have probable cause to get search warrants to get the phone records. Told people about you. You've been told to stay away from you, and you know that.
Busted.
You guys for a while, Sabrina. And I know Detective Howard is trying his best to get you to tell us the truth. And you have to know that. John was arrested the same time you were. We just got about him done and went to jail. And there's a great many questions that we need to have you answer for us. Okay? Tell me what I think. When your secret boyfriend finds out exactly where your husband is in a different county, 2.5 hours away, drives up here and kills him. What do I think? How in the world would he find out where that place is? I couldn't even find it when they sent us there.
That's my fault. I haven't,
Absolutely. What's it look like to me?
no.
Let me tell you what it look like to a jury. It's all I do, all I've been doing for many years. I'm going to tell you what a jury's going to think. The same thing I am right now, and the same thing you are. We got some problems. You need to tell me why you're not an accomplice to this murder.
Why am I not?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want Robert dead. I would never want him dead. Ever.
Yes, you did. You guys have been talking for weeks and weeks about how this is God's will. That you guys get together and marry.
I would
It's all God's will. It's almost every conversation of every day about how killing your husband and you two getting together is God's will. Bathsheba. Did we talk about that?
They had said,
Well, tell me that story. Tell me the story
I
of
don't
David and
know.
Bathsheba.
I don't know that, I don't know it.
You don't know that story? He says that's our life, and you went, yes.
Or whatever I read, like,
You don't remember?
no, I don't
He
remember.
takes another man's wife that has his husband murdered, had her husband murdered, killed.
It was
There's a
a
whole other
testimony.
account here. It sounds to me like the woman fell in love with another man that had her husband killed.
I would never want Robert killed, ever.
Why did you tell him where Robert's at?
I was gonna see him, and I would tell him when Robert was working and stuff, and
Why would you so worried about the DNA stuff you found?
I thought that was good. The DNA,
No, that's not what the conversations are.
well, the DNA was
No,
good.
don't panic. Okay?
No,
I can read a few of them to you, that's not.
yeah, well,
We talk about how good it is after you figure out we're probably listening to you. Before that, it's all panic, which is exactly why we told you that. Okay?
I just didn't want to be publicized as
No,
having
you two already, both of you have already told people about this affair. Why keep it from us? We knew about it from the minute. He's got 500 of your phone calls on his thing every day. You think we're not gonna know?
I thought that, I didn't
Liar.
know. I was worried about that.
I was misinformed.
Doesn't look bad. I know how bad, I know that it looks bad, but,
I think this has to look bad.
no, I get it.
Yeah, it
looked
looks
bad for a while, and then it got
bad.
Because we talked other stuff that you have to know. We can't tell you all of this. Things gotta get prosecuted. Okay. But it looked bad for a while, and then it just got bad. And I think it's because it is bad. Okay. All we talk about is this: we have to stop sinning and you're still together. I'm confused with these calls. I really am. Do you think God meant for you and Jonathan to be together? Is that what you guys are talking about? When you're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out. Would you want me to read that one to you? You're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out. Find out what? If his DNA is at the scene of the murder, what am I going to find out? That you two were laying around together? I'll find out that Jonathan killed you. We already knew that. We had the motorcycle picture long before you know. Okay? And we had somebody call us and say, you need to look at this guy right here. Months ago, not weeks. Because he's calling us up, trying to apologize for something that we haven't figured out what he did. But he keeps crying and apologizing. Okay? Where's his tailpipe?
I have no idea.
He didn't tell you what he did with his tailpipe?
No, I didn't even know, but
You notice he got a different pipe on the bike?
Louder. The exhaust is louder, it sounds louder.
I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. I just know the writing on the bike. That's all.
Yesterday, when I told you that the people that came in and we had for John, how come you gave me two different John's names?
Because that was John's, maybe it was John's, but Robert good.
Why didn't you just tell me then? I mean, you had to know that shit's hit the fan.
Yeah, I felt like, oh, Jonathan, okay.
Why wouldn't you tell me?
Okay, that's fine.
Here's the deal. It's not just about an affair. Your husband was murdered. That's more important than this spring affair you guys are having. Here's another thing. I can tell you, I don't care where the hell I was at. Day, night, whatever. If my wife was murdered, I would be standing at that fucking scene, finding out why and what, giving some everything. And you didn't even come out there.
He told us that we weren't allowed to.
I don't care if they told me I couldn't go out there. I would be there, standing there, saying,
Oh, I wanted
tell
to.
me something. You didn't? I don't care if they tell me I couldn't. You're going to tell me that I can't drive a fucking taxi. It's a free world. I'm going to go where I want to go. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to talk to whoever to find out what's going on. That's suspicious to me, too. I know you're having an affair. You're living two.
I wanted to come up, but
You're living two different lives and stuff, like you said.
he said it was all rubbed off and they won't let anybody
Oh,
know.
okay. I was sure and get my way to that crime scene. I don't know what the hell happened to my life.
God has a sees all, he does. He knows all, he does. He has a purpose for us in our marriage. He even knew that Rob was going to get killed. When he told you that's him in the video, why were you not burning his phone up to tell you, I found out who killed my husband?
I mean, you said it looked like it.
Because your relationship with Jonathan is more important than your husband was.
No.
You should have teared his phone up. Jonathan just told me that's him in the video. Okay? Why didn't we get that call?
I asked him, I said, what
You don't need to ask him anything. Tell me why you didn't call us.
He said it could have been planned, like it could
No,
have
there's
been.
no could. Okay? That's not, it's a glass of water. It's not a house, it's not a car. I can't tell you that, well, that could be a chair. It's a glass of water. That could be me in a video. What do you mean it could be you? It either is or is not. And if he's in the video, that's the video of the suspect. We all know that. You know that, don't you? That guy in that video walked into the place where your husband was and killed him and then ran off. And he tells you that could be me in the video. What did you think? I'm more than confused here, Sabrina. I'm really telling you. I think you're flat in the middle of this murder. I think you set your husband up and had him killed by Jonathan, so you two can be together. I can tell you that's not going to happen, ever. Okay? You need to get that through your head now. You are not going to be together. You're going to end up going to prison for the rest of his life, and I've got some serious doubts about you. Okay?
Okay, understood.
There's no reason to tell your boyfriend exactly where your husband is working. Absolutely none. Right down to the building. What's the purpose? There can only be one. Tell me another one. I'm waiting. Tell me why you would tell him exactly where Rob's at.
Thinking.
You can't find that place by accident. We knew somebody told him. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, from day one, when he told me about I wasn't there to murder, he come back and told me. So we got a problem. It's a long time of the day for somebody to get burglarized. And burglars don't just shoot people for no reason. Okay? Something else went on. It was all fishy looking. It was real fishy to me. I said, somebody has got a relationship, we better start looking at it. I was 3 or 4 days after the murder before we knew anything. Okay? Because this whole thing stunk to me from day one. Somebody told him, somebody where that guy was at. You can't find him. There's not anything to take in that place anyway. All those businesses next door have got tons of stuff that you could sell. Not that place. Tools. That's it. Train repair craft. You can't sell that. He told you that could be me in the video. That should have been the end of it right there.
And I told you that was our suspect, and you didn't say anything. You know what I mean? I said, this is our suspect. Okay. Gigs up. What's wrong with her? You didn't tell me anything.
I should have told you that.
You should have.
The black helmet, I didn't.
He never told you
see.
it was him in the video, Sabrina. You already knew. Okay? He didn't tell you that. You already knew it. You know dang well it's him. You know how he walks. That was my brother in that video. I'd peg him in a minute. You know. And when we put a picture of Jonathan on his bike down in front of you, you don't need to sit and stare at it for 15 minutes. You knew exactly who it was. And you should have said it. It's Jonathan. That's Jonathan's bike. Everybody else did. Why couldn't you say it? You knew it was him. You knew it was him on his bike. You know exactly where the picture's taken.
Where it's taken?
Yeah, it's taken about 300 feet from where your husband's killed. He's leaving right after he kills him. Okay? At what point did he tell you he shot Rob? And don't tell me he didn't. I know better.
He said that was him yesterday.
No. Ain't gonna cut it. Okay?
He never said he
You
shot.
think about 6 or 7 old ladies sitting on that jury, and this guy says, that's me in the video. Huh? And they said, what happened? I don't know. She didn't cut it. She still, it took us, 15 minutes into an interview to get her to say that. She didn't call us. Okay? And the prosecutor says, folks, that's how much she cares about her husband. Okay? Her new boyfriend killed him, and she don't even care. And what will your kids think when they find out? And the whole world is going to find out in the next 3 days, because all this paperwork goes public. Nothing we do about it. Okay? All kinds of stuff. Phone calls, everything. You want people hearing some of that stuff without explaining some of this stuff to us?
No.
Tell me when he told you he killed your husband, because he did and he told you. Okay? Or you knew it already. If he didn't tell you, you knew it already. And you knew it before he did it.
I didn't know.
Then how did he find out where your husband is to go kill him?
It's my fault.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yes. When he asks about where your husband is, what do you think he's asking for? Go buy him a milkshake? Say, hi, I'm doing your wife. Well, what do you think he's going to do?
I don't know.
When did he tell you? You're not going to get another shot at this, I'm telling you. We're going to leave here in a minute, and we're going to talk to you again. You'll want to, but your attorney won't let you, and it's too late. I won't talk to you really. We're done. We will take what we have and go with it. You wouldn't be here if we didn't have it done. Okay? Sabrina, if he did something, you don't want to tell us about you now. You understand?
I understand.
If he didn't, if you never intended for him to go do this, and he went and did it, and you didn't plan this, and you had pain, and you get scared because he's done it, you think you're wrapped up, I can understand that. I've had a lot of people in these situations, a lot, bunches of them. Little girls that drive people, little youngsters that all, but I didn't know they were going to go in there and kill people. It happens, okay?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you're in the middle of this plot that planned it or anything else. He may have went off and done something stupid on his own, but don't tell me you didn't know, because we know you did. This has been nothing but cover up. Oh my God, I hope they don't. God wants it to be together. I hope the DNA doesn't. Okay? That's got nothing to do with this affair. What the DNA got to do with you two being together? And how are we going to find out that you two are not, if all we have is his DNA?
Yeah.
Okay? His DNA at the scene means only one thing. That's a suspect.
I understand that.
You plan to kill Rob?
No. Oh my gosh, no.
When did Jonathan tell you you did it? Don't tell me yesterday again.
He never
Yes, he
came
did.
out and
Yes, he
said.
did. Yes, he did. You guys are doing nothing but hiding this thing the whole time. Yes, he did.
No.
Well, what are you trying to hide?
No, okay, I know it doesn't look good.
No. There's a difference between doesn't look good and absolutely is not good. This is absolutely not good.
I understand that.
Okay?
I understand that. He never told me that he was going up there that day. I had told him where Robert.
Why? We're still back to that, and I'm still sitting here waiting for a reason why you would tell Jonathan where your husband is.
She's going, good detective,
Are you going to come up with
please
an answer between now and
help
next
me.
time?
Good detective.
They're going to see each other. So I can talk to him.
About what?
Why? That's why.
About what? What's he going to say? I got to know. I'm sending my boyfriend to talk to my husband.
No, he never said he was.
What did you think he was going to do if he's asking about where Rob's at?
He didn't ask that day.
Why did you tell him?
I had told him, like, prior in conversations.
Why?
He asked,
Why?
I believe, about Tragically, like, we just talked about, like, what Rob did and just talked.
You didn't know what Rob did?
Yeah, but as a Tragically as a responder.
Okay, so why is it important for anybody in the world really to know exactly where Rob's at?
Well, from your, now on the other side, I don't know. You shouldn't have. I shouldn't have.
When you told him exactly where Rob was at, and Rob ends up getting killed, did you put two and two together at all?
Not at first. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I heard. I couldn't believe that it happened. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know why.
You didn't figure out, gee, I just told Jonathan, who wants to be with me forever, that I don't want me to be with my husband, for next thing. Exactly where my husband is at, and now my husband gets killed in the middle of a Sunday afternoon in broad daylight.
No, I didn't.
That didn't dawn on you?
I didn't think of him. No, I didn't. I thought I couldn't believe Rob was gone, and I thought about our affair, and I felt. I can't describe how I felt.
Okay, tell me anybody else in the world that have a reason, besides Jonathan, to kill your husband. Anybody. Have you money? Have you had Russian mafia? Have you beat up people? An alleged rapist or anything at all? So who had the only motive that you know of to kill your husband?
The only thing I thought it was.
What did Jonathan have to gain if he killed Rob? What's the price? You. Correct? And have you all to himself, is that correct? And he gets killed after you tell him where he's at, and you don't put it together. I don't think you're that dumb, Sabrina. I really don't. No one's going to.
Help me,
They were
good
back
detective.
to, you have it killed.
No.
Because if Jonathan, if you don't suspect it, and at some point Jonathan's got to tell him, okay? Did you ask him, hey Jonathan, don't you think it's odd that after I tell you where he's at, somebody goes over there and tells him for no apparent reason?
I did say.
And?
I have
And what was the answer?
questions.
What did he say? Oh no, I didn't.
And he just said, that's crazy.
And you believe him. Enough to stay with him, you did. But make future plans. Start talking about how you're going to raise Bob's children with him.
Yeah, okay then. Yeah.
Help me, good detective, please.
Jonathan take up the handguns he owns. How many?
I just knew that he had one gun.
Talking about 45, you know, 45 caliber.
I didn't know what kind it was.
And he's got one, and it's missing. Still waiting to find it. Wonder where that's at. I think that was used 30 country. The only thing worse than keeping the murder weapon is getting rid of it when it's registered to you. Not being able to tell us where it's at. Oops, I lost it. Oops, I don't know where it's at. Oh, I forgot where I put it.
So he said,
You know what I mean? You know how stupid that sounds? But seriously, that's almost as believable as I told him exactly where he was at, and he ends up dead in that spot, and I don't think this guy killed him. Did you tell anybody else exactly where Rob was at that day?
well, yeah, I mean, being into Tragically, you know. I didn't tell Jonathan like directions that day. It was prior, like we talked about,
How did you find him?
months. It was months, I'd say probably months prior. And I want to remember how exactly that conversation went.
So how did Jonathan know he's there that day?
I had told him,
You told him Jonathan's attached.
Robert isn't.
Robert's attached, working. And that day he gets murdered, and you don't figure that out.
I had talked to
And
Jonathan.
you don't bother to tell him or anyone else. By the way, the day my husband is murdered, I told my boyfriend where he was. What's it sound like? What's it going to sound
I
like, Sabrina?
understand that. I understand that.
I can go on and on with this thing, and that's what happens at the trial. But I'm not going on much longer. The rest of it will be one year later, and probably not what we should have ever. Okay? If you have any part of this thing, and we all think you did, you wouldn't be here. You need to start figuring out how to convince us that you didn't know. I told you, he did something stupid, and you didn't know he did it, and you had nothing to do with planning it. Okay? And he says, sorry, honey, I had to do this for us to do whatever he did, whatever he told you need to tell us now.
I
Okay.
understand.
If you're going to stick to this, yesterday he finally told me he killed my husband, basically.
Well, these conversations have been the same, you know, since.
No, they haven't. No, they change drastically all the time. The only major theme is God wants you two to be together according to Him. And God sees everything and knows everything. What did God see the day Rob got killed? Same thing we saw. His motorcycle jumped his motorcycle leaving the crime scene. Okay? I mean, who does he think he's fooling? Who are you guys fooling here? I don't get it. He tells you that you and him are David and Bathsheba's story, and you agree.
I didn't.
You'll hear that again, trust me. That one was almost unbelievable for me, because that's exactly what happened. Exactly. Now, the rest of you together, one spouse has got to be out of the picture permanently. Now, why divorce was an option, I don't know.
Divorce would have been an option for me, not murder.
Well, then why did it get to this?
Okay.
Was it not an option and that didn't go well with Jonathan? That's what it sounds like. I've had a few of those. Say, if you won't divorce him, I'll get rid of him for you.
No.
No? I think yes.
Yes.
I understand.
If you won't divorce him, then Jonathan's got to go to plan B. Doesn't he? I mean, Jonathan's got to know where he's at, and he got that out of you. And frankly, I could sit here for 2 or 3 hours, and I don't think you'd ever find out. There's only one explanation for that. It's just exactly what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? What everybody else outside the room thinking. Okay? So I know exactly what it is. I may not be able to get exactly what you guys are trying to do. Still the husband. shot him straight in the face. Hey, tell me what Rob deserved that. Tell me what Rob's children done to have their dad taken away by your boyfriend. Tell me. What did they do? And who suffers?
Yeah, the poor kid.
You don't. They do. Their whole life. They want their dad back. And who took them? And who helped them take it? What are they going to think?
She never
Trust me,
thought.
Sabrina, never talked to anybody yet that thought they wouldn't get away with it. We wouldn't do it. Everybody does. It's all well planned. All of it. All of the interviews are rehearsed on the phone with him. Yeah, we listened to them. They were impressive. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say and not say. We're going to Google DNA and Google all this stuff to make sure that we're not giving them enough information to find out. Okay? But that's stuff we already knew. Now, before this thing comes to an end, okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Did Jonathan tell you he killed your husband?
You never told me that.
Yep, we're done.
It just all led up to all the things that he said. Led up to that. All the conversations, just not specifically. I shot Rob. He never said that.
What conversations leading up to what? The murder?
No, not the murder. No, that conversation that day was normal. Besides,
You're talking about the conversations that happened,
after the murder,
and what did you guys talk about?
just the murder.
Look, I think that a decision needs to be made right now. You requested this. You wanted to talk to Randall. We're 4 hours into this, and you haven't said anything different to him than what you told me. If you have something you need to say, right now's the time, because otherwise I'm ready to cut this off.
I think you guys,
Getting what?
everything that has been said has been evidence that it's clear. And it's my fault for telling Jonathan where Robert was that day.
And it most certainly is. It is your fault.
Oh dear. You're done.
But, I mean, for the last 4 hours, Detective Myers told you that you're holding on to something. There's something that you know that you're not telling us. Right now, I would have more respect if you said, hey, I can't say anything to you. You don't like me. I know you don't like me. I'm good with that. You think I'm the mean guy. I get accused of it all the time. But it's time to shit or get off the pot.
No, still not going to do it.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. You wanted to speak to him. What did you want to tell him that was so different than what you told me already?
Because I can manipulate
Prolong the inevitable? Sit in and jump up?
him.
I
Pun.
apologize for not being honest with him. Telling him about our relationship before.
That's the only thing that you want to apologize for, is for not telling us about an affair?
That's my fault.
We've established that. And I'm not here to kick in the teeth. Robert's dead because of you. Make no mistakes about that. That is something that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. That is something that your children are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives.
Give it to her.
No matter what happens now, Lord Bobby's going to know that Johnson killed his dad. I told you down there in Boron, I care less about you. I care about your kids. They didn't ask for this. You're a grown woman. You made decisions. And why you would tell the man, he's not a man, he's a coward. He's a scumbag. Why you would tell the guy that you're sharing a bed with where your husband works beyond me. If you don't have anything for us, I think we need to get you to jail.
Oh my God.
I'll take that as a yes, I do not have anything to tell you. Is that pretty fair?
I said everything that we,
You,
yeah.
okay, yeah, you told him the same thing that you told me, only I wasn't patient for 4 hours. I was kind of trying to move along after about an hour of listening to you tell me nothing. It's a lot nicer than me, a lot more patient. So what I need you to do is I need you to stand up and turn around.
Here we go. Dun dun dun.
Obviously, since you were already brought down here once before, you were told what you're under arrest for, correct?
Yes.
For conspiracy to commit murder, accessory to murder? Okay. Have a seat.
4 hours and 40 minutes.
So 5 hours you managed to tell us now. You got a second, sir?
Yep.
You enjoyed that. Sorry the sound was so bad. Yes, but anyway, let's have a look at the clip of Jonathan.
Shadowy image be the phantom killer.
The subject was
And that's about all we've got for this one. Take care, everyone. Stay on the right side of the law.